Hey guys, welcome back to the Hustlin' Horsepower YouTube channel. Myself, Lady Gangster, MVP, and Sexy Rexy appreciate all of you that support this deal. Buy merchandise at hustlinghorsepower.com or come out to the races and enjoy yourself. Guys, this means a whole lot to us and we really genuinely enjoy your support. So guys, this race right here, yes, it happened a few weeks ago, but it turned out pretty good and Lady Gangster edited a pretty good video for you guys. It didn't start off so well. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning not feeling so great and I almost went home, but it paid off and we got a nice little payday out of the deal. We appreciate all you guys. Like and subscribe.
So guys, here we are. We're at Ledgedale Air Park over in Brockport, New York. M&K Star Spangled Shootout 3.0, something like that. And we're racing on this airport right here. It is an active airport. There was a plane that took off this morning while sleeping in the prison bus. MVP over here and Lady Gangster didn't show up until this morning, so they didn't have to spend the night in the prison bus. I woke up about 5 o'clock in the morning. It was a little bit chilly in there because we don't have the conversion done yet. So I might be selling the thing and maybe going with like a living quarters trailer or something like that. Just something simple. Maybe tow it with a school bus. But we're gonna go out here, check out the start line a little bit. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning right now. Driver's meeting is just starting. And there's quite a few cars here, probably in the 50 car range. So I think it's gonna be probably $20,000-$25,000 to win, something like that, or a $25,000 pot. I'd love it if they go back 4 spots because it helps out a whole lot of 4 spots. Because it helps out a lot of racers come out for the next weekend. But we're gonna go through here. I'll check out the start line, flip the camera around, and walk you through what I see here. So MVP, what do you think about the start line here? So this looks like maybe burnout back here, or maybe that was a previous starting line. That could be a previous starting line there. This double line here is probably the stage line. It's not looking too bad here. It's definitely dirty. You can see it's a little bit dirty. We got a centipede here walking around, and the what's it called here is it's pretty porous. It's first round. It's probably gonna be a little bit slower for the first little while. You can see it's uphill a little bit. It's a little bit bumpy. It's not real clean, and it's actually narrower than I thought it was. But it's not a super narrow track. We got the iron block in it, the borrowed motor, which is 70 pounds heavier, about 70 pounds heavier than my aluminum motor that we normally run. So we're gonna go through here and probably leave the front wing off of it for the first round. Depending on how many cars back we are, we're probably gonna turn the RPM, the leave down a little bit, and soften up the shift point, lower it a little bit. But we should be able to run pretty good out here. I'm guessing, I'm not gonna shoot a number, but it'll probably be mid 5s. First round, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's pretty low 5s when it gets in the later rounds here. So we're gonna go back to the driver's meeting. Lady Gangster's up there doing that job. So guys, they got a pretty good crowd out here. I don't know, probably 2,500 people or so out here today. Tomorrow's race should be pretty decent as well. Justin from ProTech Racing just got it done, I believe, in the right lane against Catfish Billy. Both pretty good dudes. So we'll see what happens here. We are 33rd pair. We are 33rd pair, right lane. So I think the track should be pretty clean and stuff like that by then. I'm probably gonna turn the RPM down just a little bit and just make sure we get it to high gear with the tire stuff. So guys, here we are for round 1 of M&K Star Spangled Shootout. We are the 33rd pair with Straight Gangster racing this Turbo Cutlass. We got MVP and Lady Gangster, Donnie and Bree here, the crew for the day. So we're gonna see what happens. I think we could run close to early round mile-in tune-up here, and that's what we're gonna try. I loosened up the front shocks 2 clicks. Thank you. I loosened up the front shocks 2 clicks because it has the iron motor in it, which is quite a bit heavier than the aluminum motor. And I made a small adjustment to the rear as well to accommodate for that. Added a little bit of weight to the back. Try to get the weight bias similar. It's definitely not the same as what it is, and of course it's a heavier than what we normally run the car at. But this motor makes a lot of pop down low, so it should 60 foot decent. but not super hard. And it should run pretty good though. We'll see what happens. This Turbo Cutlass, he's been here before. We have not, even though it's a fairly local race, and we should be in all right shape. So guys, round one was pretty good. We put the front splitter on it, tightened up the front shocks a little bit because they went to full extension a little too quick. But second round, we are running Gap Train, Mid-America Customs over here. Adam, we have probably been to 40, 50 races together, and we've never ran each other. Like, you've had that car together, what, 2 years now? Like 2 or 3 years, and like, so we've ran him, or we've never ran him, but we've been at like literally probably 50 at the same event. So they're Mid-America Customs on the YouTube, right? Or is it MAK TV? MAK TV or Mid-America Customs on the YouTube. Guys, second round coming up. This should be a pretty good run. He's going to probably wheelie down low. I'm probably going to wheelie out the back, and it should be a good run. We'll see what happens. So guys, we are going into third round. We have our buddy Tangerine Dream, ProTech Racing Engines. There's some good dudes, but and I believe he has one of the fastest passes on this surface. But for only 2 passes on the surface, we're not far behind, especially with the borrowed motor and you know, all the other excuses I can come up with. Right? It's the car's 75 pounds heavier on the nose, and it's doing a lot with the pressure on the rear tire and so on and so forth. And it's getting ready to, like, it wants to fly. And that last pass there, it got on a little bit of a timing retard, simply because it wadded up the tire. The extra pressure on the, Jesus, this is hard on my stomach. The extra pressure on the rear tire made the tire wad up a little bit. But the tire looks very good I like the look of the tire for the first 60 feet, but at like 1.25 seconds, it's the converter's coupling. It's getting to the point where the converter RPM graph, I'll show it in this another video, maybe like the video after this one, but the converter's starting to roll over. And when the converter's starting to roll over, it starts applying all that torque to the motor because all the slip that is going through the converter as the RPM is coming up, when the converter's not coupling, that's happening at about 1.2 seconds. And with the 60 foot we went, we're about 50 feet into the surface, probably right in this area. The converter's starting to couple, and it's starting to come into a little wheelie. I'm not afraid of wheelies. Generally speaking, I didn't want a wheelie when we had the drop axle on the car, but with the independent front suspension, it is still changing the pressure on the rear tire, but it's not as drastic, and I could tune around it because it's a very smooth pressure change on the tire. So I could manipulate my timing and stuff like that to try to get this sucker happy. And if we pick up I'm aiming to pick up the 330. I picked it up almost a tenth of a second from first round to second round, and I think we could pick it up almost another tenth of a second here. And if we do that, this sucker's going to lay down one of the fastest passes, and it'll put us in some pretty good shape. And some people will be like, Nick, the car's running good, just play your cards. Well, this is an evolving sport, and I'm not the only one that's making changes to the car to try to get faster, because the first two passes, that might get us into like the top 8 cars on the property out of whatever it is, 70 something cars here. But that doesn't necessarily get us paid. So we gotta be a top 1 or top 2 car. And if we're at least a top 4 car, well, odds are in our favor that we getting the money. But if you're a top 8 car, you got to have a fair amount of luck on your side to be able to get in the top 4. Or if you're a top 16 car, we might be a top 16 car already, according to the way the charts fall out, or the pairings fall out. But I believe right now we're sitting at probably a top 8 car on the property. I don't like sitting at a top 8 car. I don't necessarily need to be the top dog on the property, but I need people to second guess their tunes when I'm coming up here to do my deal. And we've made two very clean passes, A to B, no wheel speed, no nothing, just nice and clean. And that's how I try to run this operation, because then you can keep on adding power. And when you get a little bit of tire slip somewhere in there and it doesn't go into wheel spin, the tune-ups are really close. I try to avoid that. But by sneaking up on it, you can avoid going up in tire smoke by just chipping away at it. So first round tune-up was pretty good. Second round tune-up, we cleaned it up a little bit more, picked it up a 10th overall. And this next pass, if we pick it up another 10th from where we were, it'll be one of the fastest passes on the surface. And that's what we are aiming for here. So surface looks good. The lanes are pretty even. It should be a good run. Us and Justin from ProTech Racing Engines and Tangerine Dream. So guys, we are up here for a third pair. We are racing G-Money, but G-Money's gonna be broke today because we're gonna lay it to him. I'm just joking. We got two pretty good cars here between Tangerine Dream and Straight Gangster going at it. It should be a good run. These guys dropped off a crankshaft for my new motors, so now I have 2 crankshafts, and I hate to do it to you, but no, I'm just joking, guys. It's gonna be a good run.
Hey,
I think there's a chance that this might be the fastest pair of this round. I think there's a good chance at that. So Kraken's over here, but he thinks wheelies are fast. So I remember when in high school I had a little twin turbo S10 Blazer that I built. I thought that thing was bad, bad to the bone, right? It would go 145, 60 foot, but it would do wheelies. That's Kraken over here. It is what it is. Hey, I had to put it on there after the first pass because it went 330 on and carried the front wheels. So guys, here we are. Kraken's got a bad mamma jamma. Are you on YouTube?
What?
Are you on YouTube at all?
Yeah, on YouTube.
What is it? The Kraken?
Kraken Race Supply.
Kraken Race Supply on YouTube. Are you up here for War in the Woods, I take it?
I don't know. I'm with somebody, so we'll see. If we get enough money here, then we'll make War in the Woods.
They might stay for War in the Woods. They came all the way up from Texas. The Kraken and the C10. Is it still in? It was running. The Blazer.
Oh no, he
lost it.
I'm not gonna call it here. We're gonna look at it.
Yeah.
So guys, we showed up to this race with 0 hits on straight gangster with the motor that I threw together Wednesday night, and I think I could honestly say we had the fastest car on the property. But I'm gonna flip the car around here and I'll explain what happened. I guess I'll explain what happened first. So when we were running the GTR, he jumped the light. I was pretty sure he jumped the light, but you don't know for sure, right? The car felt good in the 60 foot. I was like, that car had a 60 foot like a mother, because I'm usually pretty good on the light. Well, I laid on the scramble button and it hit a safety feature and it backfired like a mother at like 330 feet as we were running them down. Well, when that happened, it jostled the motor really freaking hard, and it must have loosened the crank trigger. I didn't know that at the time. I thought it just hit the safety. We went through, went up for the finals. So I'll show you what happened here. And I can honestly say a young guy cried after the finals there. We were out on them probably about a car, and I don't know if there's a car that backsplits. A backsplit is from the 330 to the 8th, right? The second half of the track. I don't think there was a car on the property that was backsplitting with us, even with the car turned down a little bit more than we normally run it. This motor makes some pretty good power. And has a fair amount of compression in it. So we were backsplitting a half a tenth slower than we normally do on the backside, but I'm still pretty sure that we had the fastest backsplit out there. But I'm gonna go show you what happened here, and yeah, that was a sad day to be a Nick. Don't get me wrong, we walked our way with a little bit of money, but it was a far cry from $22,000 that I don't want to say it this way. That was ours to lose, and this problem right here caused it. So guys, you see that thing right here with all the gitches on it? Let's see here. That right there, that is the crank trigger wheel. There's a sensor down there. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm gonna go in here if I can reach. Let's see if we can get a, ready? The crankshaft's not moving. That cost us $17,000. That legit cost us a $17,000 difference between first and second place. Those wheels are slotted, and I put tack welds in the slots so that it can't rotate like that. When it got on that safety, it must have broke all those tack welds. I think there's 3 bolts in there, so 3 or 6 tack welds. It must have sheared those off when it hit that safety and loosened up the crank trigger. So that, what a crank trigger does, it is the ignition, what sends the ignition signal to the whole car to let for the spark on the car. And when you lose spark, you get a kaboom and the car shuts off. And yeah, that one, I don't know how I'm smiling right now, but that one sucked. So we're gonna drain out the fuel. There's a guy locally that can weld it. It's supposed to be $13,000 on the line today. It is about 8 o'clock in the morning. It's a little bit chilly out here in New York, but it's a pretty simple task. I got these 2 bolts. I modified it so I don't have to pull the front end off. These 2 bolts, a couple 3/8 bolts to pull off the fuel cell, and that whole front end will slide off, and then it's, I'll explain a little bit when I get more in. So guys, here's a little bit better view for you. This is the crank trigger. That is the sensor down there. This is what happened. That's not supposed to move. That's supposed to be locked into place. I have tack welds in here, but apparently when it hit that safety, it broke those tack welds. And that right there cost us $17,000. But we're gonna try to pull this off. This is for the fuel pump, for the belt drive fuel pump, air motive 12 gallon a minute pump, and then the alternator over there. So we're gonna pop all this stuff off, access these 3 bolts here, index this again, and mark it up and try to get it welded up today. So here we are, guys, Sunday morning at the WireCare Fab Shop. They let me come in here, use the MIG welder, MIG welded it up,
TIG welder would make it possibly. The MIG welder works plenty good because instead of just doing the tack welds like I normally did, I welded them solid. It's not the prettiest looking deal, but we have drivers meeting like 40 minutes, and I got to get the crank trigger back on this thing and then reset the ignition timing. But I made it so that the hub here that holds on to here, it fits like tight. It's on backwards right now, but you can see in here, and there is absolutely no slop in here. So appreciate it. We got to get back to the trailer and slap this sucker back together. Well, guys, it is 10:53. Drivers meeting's at 11 o'clock, and I'm driving back. I got Donnie's golf cart here, and I'm driving back to the track, which is over there. The guys at WireCare, greatly appreciate those guys over there letting me use their welders and their Dremel tools and so on and so forth to get this deal fixed up. We got it down in there. Hopefully we didn't lose too many bolts. Their field is a little bit bumpy, but we're hauling back now. I gotta stop at the drivers meeting and see, make sure we're still good to go, because they said 11 o'clock. That gives us 7 minutes, and then we'll probably have to run in about 20 minutes. So I should be able to get it all back together, fuel system back in the car, and so on and so forth in time.
Action.
That's not a smile. Come on, smile.
Pearly white.
I don't got pearly whites no more. So guys, we are racing Eric Mans. We raced him fourth round last night, and we were able to get him. I went over to WireCare this morning. The guys, they have a mechanical shop up here that weld tube and stuff like that, so they had some MIG welders and stuff like that. So I welded up the holes on the crank trigger, the slots to turn back into holes, so it can't chatter on us. So sometimes you have to index them for different motors and different crank keyways and stuff like that to make sure it's perfectly right. But I got that done as Maddy was in the drivers meeting, and she went out and got some different bolts for it, and we should be in good shape here. I'm not telling anyone, but it's the same tune-up as last night. We ran that tune-up 3 times in a row, and it went really fast. So it might be a hair bit slower since we are third pair of first round today, but it was a nice night out last night. The dew point never really set in. It didn't really get wet out. The t-shirts we had hanging on the awning aren't wet this morning, so I think the truck's gonna be in pretty decent shape. It's not going to be as clean, or as the temperature's going to be a little bit cooler than it was last night, but I think we have enough discretion in the tune-up to be able to get down there. And cut. Here we are, guys. Second round. We got Sherm Baker versus Steven Little. Should be a pretty good run here. So here we are, guys. Not only are we first round losers today, Maddy forgot to put gas in the golf cart. So now we're on the walk of shame about a quarter mile to go get some gas, but we're not carrying the gas back up here. We'll toss it in the Honda or something like that and drive up, go off-roading in the Honda. What do you think?
Wouldn't be the first time.
You trying to steal my fuel? There's still some in here.
You watching them? Whoa, look at how cool. Look at how cool, Miley.
Smiley. What are we gonna see here?
An airplane landing.
We're gonna see an airplane land. Guys, we are getting ready to head out here. It was a pretty decent weekend for us, even though we had some troubles in the finals. But Smiley Miley over here. Da-da-da. Come in closer. Come on closer. She's gonna see her first plane land. You almost can't even see it. Where is it?
It's low.
Oh, it's low. There it is. See him landing? Whoa. Smiley, look! He might even be coming in here. Yeah, he's slowing down quick enough. He might make this first turn.
Whoa!
Whoa!
An
Whoa!
airplane.
That plane looks old as heck, don't it?
Yeah.
I think it looks like it's from like the 1930s. That's freaking cool. What do you think about your first plane, Smiley?
Whoa!
Whoa!
It's so cool.
I don't know if I'd get in that thing. That thing literally looks like it's like from the 30s.
Bro, you drive a 30s car.
That's probably faster than that thing flies. We only flew once today, first round, when all 4 tires came out.